The subject of this video is something like this. Let's put the Trump tariff blows behind us and move confidently ahead as befits a very big economy. That's the drift. That's the subject. And I would try to reason why I say this. The Trump blows, the blows of tariffs, 50% on us, are severe. And they might shave off about 0.8% of our GDP. Now, it's not my purpose to drown you with all kinds of concepts and figures, GDP and the rest. I want to talk to you plainly what it's all about. After all, what is this thing GDP? It is the people, the population of India and their economic activity. When I say economic activity, these people are not remaining quiet. They are working, they are spending, they are traveling. They are into various economic and productive activities. And we are a big population, the most populous nation in the world, number one in population, 1.45 billion people. That's our strength, because private consumption, which means domestic consumption, the goods and services being consumed by our people, that accounts for more than 60% of our GDP, the total economic activity valuation of total economic activity. It comes to a truly impressive figure of US dollars 2.1 trillion by 2030. We are expected to cross 2.1 trillion or 2.7 trillion, and that is the size of our economy. Nothing can take away that. Our middle class is the backbone of the spending power, of purchasing power. There are 430 million people today who belong to the middle class and who have spending power. And this middle class is slated to become 700 million people by 2030. So, this is what represents the real strength of our economy. And all these other things need not distract us from the main point that I am making, that nobody can take away the fact that we are a gigantic economy with 430 million people belonging to the middle class who have, that is today, who have purchasing power, and it can only go up, and that is the potential. It will be 700 million by 2030. Now, in the past weeks, there's been a lot of measures taken to improve both our purchasing power of the middle class, in terms of lessening the burden of taxation. They don't have much tax to pay, as I understand, and even if they have, it's something that affect their purchasing capacity. They have income that they can spend on. And the prices have come down, what is called the GST Festival of Expenditure. You will see in the papers, all the advertisements, all the prices of cars coming down and so on. That will have an absolutely, escalating effect on purchasing power, what the economists call the elasticity of demand and things like that. Now just imagine, even a modest 5% boost in spending power would add, it's a back of the envelope calculation, would add about 150 billion to 300 billion of extra demand. And this will have its own ripple effects on the private sector's investment in homes, in automobiles, and things like that. And of course, it all comes from the middle class spending on healthcare, on education, on consumer goods, and then more transactions on digital platforms and all that. Therefore, the activity starts working. And that's what economic activity and what GDP growth is all about. And then you have a very good technology. I mean IT. You have a situation where consumption drives technology adoption, and in turn technology will be a multiplier to consumption. What I mean is our strength in IT. We have 900 million internet users, the world's largest digital payment system through UPI. Millions of talented engineers graduate every year. They represent pure gold. That is the talent that has propelled many US companies. We have the talent here. And there are now, with all this H-1B visa, distraction, there are countries like Canada, China even, almost every country, Europe, everyone, wanting our talent, our engineers. So that's the situation. The Economist had a nice story with the heading, "The shape AI takes could depend on what happens in India." You know something, we have been adopting, our population have been adopting AI in a very big way. We are probably the biggest users of AI. So that's catching up, and then therefore we are looking at a very dynamic situation where this combination of private consumption of a huge middle class of 430 million people to 700 million people bring about tremendous economic activity in terms of what they demand for consumption. There's the demand for consumption. And then we have this IT, which is our real talent. I think it was the Economist which said that the India's digital platform for biometric identification is a model for a whole lot of countries. That is the pointer to things that we have advantages to us. India has the world's second largest pool of developers on GitHub, a coding platform, in which global tech giants and local firms compete side by side. So this is the situation that is developing. The H-1B visas, first after some clarification, it is clear that it applies this huge fee of $100,000 applies to new applicants. And really, if US companies there in the United States do not want our talent to go there, then the companies will come to our talent. If talent, or if Indian talent, undoubted talent, pure gold, if they don't want talent to go there, then they will come for the talent. That's how it is. And so there is probably an opportunity there for Indian engineers not to be too much, after, the US H-1B visa. Well, we can have homegrown enterprises. We are good at that. We are the leaders in that. And therefore, I would say that this could be a turn to our advantage. The mindset has to change. We could have our own AI developers, our own AI platforms, our own AI companies, because this is where the talent has gone there into the making of these big companies in the United States. It is our talent. We can use it here. We can have, I'm talking about this particular matter of tech and AI, which is going to be a big thing now, everywhere, AI. And we have adopted AI, huge adoption of AI. The figures are astounding. So, there is really nothing much to be shall we say, worried about. Yes, we can move on. We can put that Trump tariffs behind us and move confidently so that we ultimately, since we have the potential, we can assume a position of global leadership. That's the essence of what I have got to say.